Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about how the Grand Exchange actually works because I get a lot of questions about it, and there's a lot of misconceptions about how your offers get placed on the Grand Exchange, how the buy and sell priorities go, and just other things. So today I wanted to get into some of the mechanics of the Grand Exchange because I think it's useful to know whether you're a flipper or just a regular player. Anyway guys, hope you enjoy and let's get started. Now, in my opinion, the mechanics of the Grand Exchange are somewhat hidden, and I'm assuming it's that way to kind of prevent people from abusing it in certain ways. So the information that I am going to be presenting in this video is actually from a somewhat old post on the RuneScape forum by one of the community managers, and as far as I can tell, all of this information is accurate, as well as it should be the same for old school RuneScape as well, as the Grand Exchange was for the most part ported from the RS2 or RS3 version. If you are interested in the forum post, I will leave a link in the description for that. So to begin with here, what is the Grand Exchange? Well, simply put, it is a trading system governed entirely by players. There's no outside influence. The only thing that affects prices is supply and demand. None of the items are getting destroyed, none of the items are getting created, they are just getting traded between different players. Now, one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, how does the Grand Exchange actually match offers? For example, if you try to buy a Dragon Med Helm and someone is attempting to sell it for 60,000 GP in the Grand Exchange and you put an offer in for 100k, who actually gets the better deal? Does the person selling it get an extra 40,000 GP cash for 100k in total? Or does the person buying it get a 40,000 GP refund with the Dragon Med Helm? Now, one of the easiest ways to visualize how the Grand Exchange works is through a stack of sell and buy offers. Now, hypothetically, imagine that there are 2 buy offers and 2 sell offers in the Grand Exchange, and neither of them are completed. The reason being that the 2 sell offers are higher than the 2 buy offers, so they're kind of stuck in a gridlock essentially. So let's say, for an example, they are Dragon Med Helms. So now a 5th player comes in and buys a Dragon Med Helm for 100,000 GP. Now what's going to happen is the Grand Exchange will instantly pair up the offer with the lowest sell offer available. So in this example, they're going to get a Dragon Med Helm for 38,000 GP as well as receive 62,000 back. Now in this circumstance, the buyer will get the cash back, and that is because they placed the most recent offer. If you have an offer that is simply idling in the Grand Exchange, you are never going to get more or less than the amount that you put it in for. Now on the other side, if someone wants to go ahead and sell a Dragon Med Helm right away, for example 30,000 GP, in this example 36,000 GP was the best offer at the time, so the seller is going to get an extra 6,000 GP. And again, the seller got extra money because his offer was newer and put in the most recently. Now the next thing I want to talk about here is, what if 2 offers are put in at the exact same price and neither of them have completed yet? Which one gets priority? Now this question actually has quite a bit of debate with it. A lot of players think that the older offer will get priority as they have been waiting longer, and that would make sense. And yet other people think that there is no priority given to older offers and that it is completely random. Now the latter is what I've been leaning towards for a long time. I have never felt like there is a lot of priority given to older offers. However, a third explanation is actually given in this forum post, and here's a quote directly from the community manager Finance. The level of priority given to an older offer is influenced by how much older that offer is. Offers that are days older will receive near absolute priority, while offers that are placed around the same time might split 75 to 25 in favor of the older offer. And offers placed roughly at the exact same time will take turns back and forth. They also go on to mention that there is a long line of people waiting for a white or blue party hat in RS3 at the time. Given the number of offers that are in the Grand Exchange for these items, and the fact that most people are selling these items on the street for a higher price, it may take years before some of these newer max cash offers will fill. So to summarize here, there is a priority, but it is not unanimous. It seems to be a combination of older offers having priority as well as a bit of randomness. I think that 75% to 25% rule does make sense, as in my experience, I've never noticed an absolute priority to older offers, as I've had multiple accounts buying the exact same items and had offers that I put in more recently completed before older accounts, so this explanation would make a lot of sense. Now next up here, I want to talk about a concept that not everyone is aware of, and that is inactive offers. Now for those who don't know, offers in the Grand Exchange will actually go inactive after 7 days. Now, when they say 7 days, I mean 7 days without you logging in at least once. Now, if you don't log in for 7 days, your item will be taken out of the stack of active offers, and they're no longer going to sell even if they are the best price at the time. Now, to keep your offers active, all you need to do is log in at least once during the 7 days. However, if your offers have become inactive, when you log in again, these offers will not automatically reactivate. So you actually need to cancel them and put them in again to get active offers. Now, this is somewhat confusing as you only need to log in to keep your offers active. However, if they have gone inactive, you do need to replace the offers, which means players in RS3 or even old school RuneScape who are attempting to buy an item for overmax cash need to log in at least every week because if their offers go inactive, then they have to delete the offer, put it in again, and then they're back at the very top waiting again. Now, next up here we have the Grand Exchange buying limits. Now, a lot of people know about these, and the main purpose of them is to prevent people from monopolizing certain items, buying out and hoarding certain important items or whatnot. For the most part, item limits are in the game to add stability to the Grand Exchange. Now, buy limits are different for every single item. If you want to look up specific buy limits, they are present on the wiki as well as GE tracker. Now, we have the buy limits for almost every item now, as there was an actual dump of every single item limit a few months back, so only the newer items are unknown so far. Now, for example, the cannonballs have a buy limit of 7,000. Now, if you've gone ahead and bought 7,000 cannonballs, you will now need to wait exactly 4 hours for the limit to be reset and the item released. If you put in an offer for 50,000 cannonballs, 7,000 of them would come through immediately, and then after another 4 hours, 7,000 more would get released, and so forth until the offer is finally completed. Now, one thing worth keeping in mind is there is no limit on selling, so once you've acquired a ton of a certain item, there is no restriction on the amount that you can sell. Now, the only way to get around a buy-in limit is to use multiple accounts or buy items from other players. Now, one of the final mechanics of the Grand Exchange I wanted to go over is the median price that you see when you first bring up an offer. Now, as a lot of people have realized, often that price is not correct, or in some cases not even close. This is especially true with newer items. For example, if you have a look at the price of the new Swift Blade, it is like a couple hundred K when in reality it's worth around 7 mil. The reason for this is the median price can only rise or fall by a maximum of 5% a day, which means it can take over a month for an item's median price to calculate properly. Now, Jagex will set an initial price on the Grand Exchange, and if it is wildly off, it can take a long time to stabilize. Jagex will often put the initial starting price way below what they expect to prevent items scamming. So in most cases, it's going to take a long time for new items to display accurate pricing. And one other thing worth mentioning is the item's median price only updates once a day and at a random time interval as well. Now, last up here, and most importantly, what exactly do you do with all of this information? Well, one really simple rule, obviously, is don't leave your items in without checking them for over 1 week. That one's pretty easy to follow and explain. Just don't do it and expect your items to continue buying or selling. Next up here is the Grand Exchange limits. In my opinion, you should be working around them. So if you are not going to be leaving your computer for a couple hours, there is not really a good circumstance to put an offer in above the GE limit. Actually, in most cases, you want to put it below it. For example, if you're trying to flip cannonballs and you buy all 7,000 of them, you're not actually able to buy even one more, which makes it kind of hard to check the margin later for higher volume items. However, on the flip side, if you're about to go to bed or about to leave for the entire day, it might make sense to actually put an offer in for multiple times the buy-in limit. However, I would stick to multiples, maybe 1 time, 2 times, or 3 times will be the most efficient use of your money. Otherwise, you just have a bunch of money wasted in offers that cannot physically complete. For the median price, I often just ignore it. It's generally not right and only gives you a very broad view of what the item price might be. Generally, you want to price check the item yourself or use a GE tracker or access to the OS Buddy API, or even ask a friend. That will sometimes even be more accurate. And last of all, just be patient with your offers. If you have the time, it's almost always worth it to find the best price possible to sell your items at, as in most cases, people don't actually need the money right away. They just want to have it sold and done, especially when you don't need the money or you don't need the items right away. Take your time, get a better offer, and just save money because over months and months and months, it will save you a ton of cash, and it's just a good habit to get into. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you learned something. If you found the video useful, I would appreciate it if you left it a like. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.